Hello and welcome to Sassy Scrapbooking. In this video, I'm going to take you through my step-by-step process of creating this Sea Monster pop-up card using the Simple Pop-Up Cards cartridge. So let's get started. In the Cricut design space, I'm going to choose the Sea Monster pop-up card from the Cricut Simply Pop-Up Card cartridge. And for those of you that use the item number, it is M222C87. For those of you that have watched any of my other videos, you'll probably have noticed that I like to move the designs over to the 1-inch position so that at both the X and the Y position it's at 1 inch. For this design, I'm going to go ahead and shift the design just a little bit higher so that the line or the flap for the envelope fits about on the 1 inch mark. And I'm going to go ahead and leave the aspect ratio locked and resize the whole design by pulling on the resize handle. Something you need to watch for when you're doing a project that includes an envelope is to note what the front of the envelope size is going to be based on your graphic. So for example, this one is going to be slightly over 4.5 inches tall by 5 inches wide. Now let's look at the map preview screen. I always like to double check what's being cut and that all my images are where they should be. I'm going to move the waves over a little bit because I'm going to use a small piece of stock paper to cut that out just to conserve a little bit. But it looks like there's my envelope and my tentacles there, and then the other piece for the background of the card. So it looks like it's all there, and let's go ahead and send it to the Cricut Explorer to cut. With all the pieces cut, now we just need to put it together. The first thing you need to find is the crease or the score line that defines the center of the card. Using my thumbs to push backwards on the score line makes it easier to fold the card in half while pushing the center pieces forward to create the steps or levels needed to attach the rest of the cut images. With the inside portion of the card folded, I can now take the outside portion of the card and fold it in half. Once folded, I want to use my tape runner and run some double-sided tape on the inside. Well, actually, what I should do is run the tape runner on the back of the inside card piece, ensuring that I keep the double-sided tape to the edge of the card so that the middle or the pop-out portion of the card can move freely. Next, I want to go ahead and adhere the inside portion of the card to the outside portion of the card, making sure that I have aligned all the edges. What you're going to see here, it's not as easy as it sounds because it's going to take me 2 tries to actually get it aligned correctly. Using a small amount of liquid glue, I am now going to attach the Kraken's tentacles to the front of the steps or levels. When attaching the tentacles or the waves, you need to take care to place the images slightly above the fold line. You don't want to have the images in the fold line because it will interfere when the card is folded. I have found a good way to avoid placing my images on the fold line is to semi-close the card and then slide the image into place. This way I can finish closing the card knowing that the image is above the fold line and it doesn't interfere with the closure of the card. Of course, this works best when using liquid glue. Another thing to be mindful of when you're using liquid glue in this project is not to use too much. I used a little bit too much when I attached this one tentacle and I could see it kind of oozing out. So I'm using a sheet of copy paper, placing it between the tentacle and the inside of the card before pressing down so that the copy paper absorbs the excess glue and it doesn't get on the inside of my card. You may have also noticed that the Kraken's tentacles, both on the left and the right side, are protruding further than the actual card itself. Well, let me assure you that the folks at Cricut have already taken this into consideration when they designed the proportions of the tentacles, the card, and the envelope. So, even though the Kraken's tentacles are sticking out on the sides, once the card is completed, it will fit in the envelope. With the card portion of this project now completed, let's work on the envelope. My Cricut Explorer has already scored all the score lines on the envelope, so all that's left for me to do is to go ahead and fold along the score lines and use some liquid glue on the side edges of the envelope to adhere the bottom portion to the sides of the envelope, and my envelope is complete. With the envelope completed, I'm going to insert my card, and as you can see, even with the tentacles protruding on the outside of the card, it will fit in the envelope. I did add one more bit of embellishment to my envelope, and that is I took the pieces that were cut out from the Kraken's tentacle on the inside of the card and the little sailboat, and just snipped off the bottom portion of the tentacle, and I'm going to go ahead and adhere it to the envelope, and then I'm also going to glue the little sailboat right on top of the tentacle, and my card and envelope are complete. I would like to take one more moment of your time and thank you for watching my video at Sassy Scrapbooking. Please subscribe to my channel and watch my other videos. I will continue to add new videos as my adventures with the Cricut Explorer continue. Bye for now.